It's happening right now. October 25th, 2025 is not just another moon shift. It's the moment something inside you starts to move. Most people will look up, see the moon glowing, and think it's just another night. But that's where they're wrong. The moon never shifts without shifting you. You may have noticed it already. Waking up at strange hours, emotions coming out of nowhere, thinking about people or memories you thought you forgot. These aren't random moments. They're signs that the moon is opening something new inside you. And here's what no one tells you. This shift doesn't stop when the night ends. It's still working through you even now. From this point on, nothing inside you will feel the same. So stay with me, but first, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and type 999 in the comments. Tonight marks a turning point. The waxing crescent moon is connecting with Venus and Saturn, creating an energy that brings truth to light and pushes everything forward. It's like the universe is rearranging pieces of your life so that what's meant for you can finally find its way. What once felt stuck will soon start moving. This phase is known as the gate of renewal, a time when courage matters more than comfort. You're being asked to release what's no longer real and make space for what's waiting to enter. The universe isn't asking you to chase. It's asking you to trust. Every sign right now points toward one message. It's time to rise into the version of yourself you've been avoiding. The energy of tonight is clear. Change is not coming to scare you. It's coming to show you how powerful you've always been. Right now, a deep shift is taking place across the collective field. The energy around October 25th, 2025, opens a turning point that connects past lessons with the future you are stepping toward. This time acts like a bridge between old karmic stories and new spiritual agreements that the soul has been waiting to fulfill. Many people are closing contracts that once kept them repeating the same emotional lessons, while others are stepping into missions they prepared for long ago. Karmic endings are not punishments, they are clearings. When doors close now, it is not loss. It is alignment. The universe is reorganizing connections, paths, and timing, so that each person moves closer to their true direction. What leaves at this stage could not move with the next version of purpose that is opening ahead. Spiritually, this phase marks an initiation, a moment when the soul graduates from survival toward creation. Those who are ready will begin to notice more harmony between what they think, say, and attract. Relationships may shift to reflect honesty. Work or creative paths may change to match deeper truth. This is not random. It's destiny catching up to awareness. Every movement in this timeline is preparing the collective for a new level of consciousness, where intention shapes reality faster than ever before. The task now is to trust the timing, stay grounded, and walk with integrity. This gateway was never meant to be easy, but it was meant to be meaningful. Those who tune in now are not late. They are right on schedule, exactly where their higher path needs them to be. The universe isn't rushing anyone. It's simply saying it's time. This moon shift is unlocking deep emotions that have been waiting to surface. Around October 25th, many are noticing sudden waves of sadness, random tears, or bursts of laughter that come out of nowhere. These emotional surges are not random. They are the soul's way of releasing old timelines that no longer match the person you're becoming. Every strong emotion is a signal that the inner world is clearing space for something more truthful to take form. The heart may feel tender, not from weakness, but from renewal. When the soul upgrades its frequency, emotions stored from years ago begin to rise, asking to be honored before they leave. A moment of confusion, a sudden memory, or a silent urge to be alone. All of these are signs of healing. This is emotional detox in motion, not chaos. The body and mind are simply syncing with the higher version of life being built. Some may find themselves waking at odd hours or feeling as though time is bending in unfamiliar ways. This is the body's rhythm, adjusting to new awareness. The world around you might look the same, yet something within has shifted. The unseen alignment is teaching presence, patience, and self-compassion. Flashes from the past may return, not to haunt, but to complete their story. The moments that once carried regret or confusion now arrive to be seen from strength instead of pain. Each remembrance becomes a doorway, guiding the spirit toward emotional freedom. Nothing here is meant to punish. It's all designed to purify. For the collective, this phase is a massive emotional clearing before a new chapter of spiritual maturity begins. It can feel like standing in two worlds, one fading, one forming. Those who stay grounded will sense a new peace quietly settling behind the intensity. No one moves through this alone. Millions across the planet are undergoing the same invisible transformation, cleansing the emotional field so truth can flow more easily. It's not breakdown, it's breakthrough. The more honestly emotions are met, the faster the light of clarity returns. This chapter is not asking for perfection. It's asking for presence. Trust the process. Trust that what leaves now makes room for a softer, wiser, freer version of who you were always meant to be. Tonight, the atmosphere carries a quiet invitation for deep honesty. Hidden corners of the mind begin to open, revealing emotions and choices once left unresolved. Around October 25th, the universe draws attention to what still lingers within. The unspoken doubts, the fears that shape decisions, the moments we pretend never happened. It isn't punishment, it's reflection. The cosmic mirror is bright enough now to show every layer of truth, even the ones that once seemed too heavy to face. Karmic threads that have looped through relationships, habits, or silent disappointments start to untangle in strange ways. People from the past may reappear, or old emotions might echo in unexpected places. These encounters aren't meant to confuse, but to cleanse. They remind the soul of promises made long ago, promises of courage, honesty, and growth. On October 25th, this alignment asks for release, not regret. Each realization is a soft turning point, guiding the spirit toward emotional liberation. Every shadow that rises in this phase represents a part of the self, waiting to be integrated, not erased. The discomfort is simply truth entering light. In many traditions, this moment was seen as alchemy, the transformation of inner weight into wisdom. When anger turns to understanding or grief becomes compassion, that spiritual gold being created from the rawness of experience. The darker emotions are not enemies. They are signals of depth. Fear, envy, guilt, all carry information about where the soul seeks balance. Instead of running from them, meeting them head-on allows their power to shift from control to clarity. This process can be uncomfortable but deeply freeing. Each layer released brings forward a cleaner sense of purpose, a quieter confidence in one's own resilience. Collectively, this time serves as a grand karmic purge. Humanity is confronting what it has ignored, the weight of ego, judgment, and fear. But through awareness, everything begins to dissolve into accountability and compassion. The outer world may seem uncertain, but that's only because the inner world is reorganizing into truth by embracing the darkness. Transformation becomes inevitable. The mind learns to stop fighting the unknown and instead to listen. True evolution doesn't come through avoidance. It begins in acceptance. The shadows teach discernment, strength, and forgiveness. The real kind. The one that brings peace even without answers. This moment is not the end of struggle, but the start of clarity. The night feels longer before the dawn, yet it's in this silence that the soul writes its truest story. One born not from perfection, but from courage. Every release now builds the bridge toward a lighter, wiser way of living. Today, a current of transformation moves through every layer of existence. It doesn't arrive with noise or warning, but with a magnetic pull that cannot be ignored. Around October 26th, the quiet awakening takes shape. One that doesn't ask for belief, only presence. The old version of life begins to lose its grip. While a sharper awareness takes its place, choices that once felt safe now seem too small, and hidden truths step forward demanding attention. Now, this isn't random change, it's design. The world feels charged as though invisible doors are unlocking all at once. People begin to see through illusions they used to trust. Relationships shift. Goals reshape. The energy of growth doesn't move in straight lines. It spirals upward, carrying each person toward a more authentic version of themselves. This is the pulse of awakening, not a distant dream, but a process happening in real time through everyday interactions and decisions. Ancient teaching spoke of moments like this as thresholds between timelines when individuals awaken, not by choice, but by readiness. The body, the mind, and the soul begin to align with greater clarity. Resistance fades because it no longer fits. Around October 26th, this alignment feels personal even if it's collective. It's the realization that destiny was never waiting somewhere far away. It has always been unfolding within each moment of courage and honesty. The spiritual awakening that many are experiencing now isn't about perfection or escape. It's about remembering how powerful it is to live consciously, to act, speak, and love with full awareness. Those who have been questioning their path will soon see how the pieces connect. A higher rhythm is guiding everything, even the detours that once looked like mistakes. What's coming next feels like acceleration, but it's really precision, life reordering itself around truth. The people and opportunities appearing now carry frequency, not coincidence. They match the energy of what has been silently growing inside. As this deep shift unfolds, intuition becomes sharper, emotion steadier, and courage louder. This awakening doesn't promise ease, but it guarantees meaning. Each step forward is a declaration that the old way of surviving is no longer enough. Something greater is forming, a more connected, conscious version of existence. And though the world may appear unchanged, everything is different beneath the surface. The collective heartbeat grows stronger, wiser, and more united. What begins as an internal spark turns into a shared light that moves across the planet, one realization at a time. The awakening has already started, and it's rewriting what it means to truly be alive. This moment stands unlike any that came before it. A turning of the unseen gears. A deep movement through the shared field of awareness. The ground of consciousness is stretching, asking every soul to expand past what once felt safe. The moon shift of October 25th acts as a quiet catalyst, a mirror that reflects both the personal and the planetary at once. It whispers that transformation is not an individual task anymore. It has become a shared evolution. Across timelines, ancient codes of wisdom are reawakening through ordinary lives. Not in temples or old texts, but in voices, choices, and acts of compassion happening everywhere. A conversation with a stranger, a sudden decision to forgive, a new vision that refuses to fade. These are not coincidences. They are signals that the grid of consciousness is reconfiguring, that humanity's deeper intelligence is coming online in real time. Every person who chooses awareness over avoidance contributes to the collective revolution that has already begun. The frequency of thought, emotion, and intention travels faster now. What once took years to manifest happens within days because the human field has entered an accelerated state of coherence. It's no longer about seeking light but embodying it through the smallest gestures. Kindness, honesty, presence. These are the technologies of the soul. Now the planetary awakening isn't a single event. It's a symphony of millions remembering who they are. Each act of awareness creates ripples through the invisible network that connects all living things. This awakening feels different from the ideals once spoken of in ancient circles. It's grounded, practical, yet electric with meaning. People are beginning to sense that their emotions, choices, and inner work directly influence the world's trajectory. The illusion of separation is thinning, replaced by a rising sense of unity that doesn't erase individuality, but celebrates it. Every unique path becomes a note in the greater harmony forming. The struggle between shadow and wisdom isn't a battle anymore. It's integration. The collective is learning to move from polarity towards synthesis, to hold both the broken and the beautiful without denying either. Old frameworks of control begin to weaken, because the vibration of truth no longer supports them. Power built on deception starts to dissolve as people awaken to their internal authority. The revolution of consciousness doesn't need protest. It moves through alignment. The greatest act of rebellion now is presence, a mind that refuses distraction. A heart that chooses connection over indifference. The October 25th moon shift didn't only open emotional gates. It unlocked a planetary command for authenticity. Timelines are splitting between those who cling to illusion and those who choose to evolve. The difference isn't moral, it's vibrational. The frequency of truth simply cannot coexist with the old density. Those who listen within will find clarity arriving like sudden sunlight. Paths realign. People meet in divine timing and purpose begins to clarify itself without force. It might look chaotic from one angle, but it's organization from another. The reordering of energy into higher coherence. Imagine billions of lights blinking on across the world, each representing a consciousness remembering its power. That illumination isn't separate. It connects, it communicates, it amplifies. Together, these sparks build a new foundation for collective existence, one rooted in awareness rather than control. The awakening also transforms how we perceive time. Past, present, and future start folding into each other, revealing how decisions made in the now ripple through all directions. Every healed thought repairs a fragment of the past. Every brave action shapes a brighter future. This isn't theory. It's energetic cause and effect on a planetary scale. Consciousness is evolving from linear perception to multidimensional understanding. Old cycles of conflict and fear are losing fuel because awareness drains their power. People no longer identify solely with struggle. They begin to identify with transformation. The human field is being trained in resilience, adaptability, and faith in unseen guidance. Those qualities are becoming the new foundations of spiritual intelligence. Not blind belief, but lived knowing. At a deeper layer, this shift activates the planetary memory of cooperation. Civilization was never meant to be a race for dominance, but a collaboration of awareness. The return of that truth is what many are now calling ascension. Not escape, but embodiment. It's the process of remembering how to live as conscious creators, rather than reactive participants. Each awakening soul becomes a stabilizer, anchoring balance into the shared field. Their thoughts influence the invisible grid that connects all minds. This is why inner work matters more than ever. It's no longer personal healing.
It's planetary architecture.
Every moment of clarity builds structure in the collective mind. A spiritual revolution is rising not through force but through frequency. Compassion becomes currency and honesty becomes power. What we give our attention to multiplies instantly, because consciousness has entered a new bandwidth of manifestation. The more aligned we are with truth, the faster the reflection returns. Even the smallest act of awareness contributes to the new world taking shape. A word spoken in integrity can shift timelines. A decision made in courage can unlock healing across generations. That's how expansive consciousness has become. The invisible is no longer distant. It's woven through the everyday. We are not waiting for miracles anymore. We are the miracle in motion, in conversation, in transformation. The moon shift of October 25th was a cosmic signal, not to escape the world, but to reimagine it. Everything that once divided is being redefined. Unity isn't a destination. It's a frequency we are learning to hold together. And so this moment becomes the bridge between what was and what's emerging. The collective ascension isn't about leaving behind the human experience. It's about living it with new awareness as architects of evolution, co-creators of reality, and carriers of light through the density of change. The awakening is no longer coming. It's here, expanding through every thought, willing to see beyond the illusion of limits. Change has never moved this quickly before. The collective field is humming with a rhythm that reshapes how humans connect, build, and dream. What once took generations to awaken is now unfolding in weeks. Old identities crumble and new truths emerge almost overnight. This acceleration isn't chaos. It's design. A realignment of consciousness that causes everyone to stand in their true frequency, to become living proof that awareness itself is evolution in motion. Many are beginning to sense that they are not isolated individuals, but strands in a vast web of creation. Each thought, word, and emotion sends ripples through this invisible network. It's how one person's courage can inspire thousands, and one act of kindness can shift a collective mood. Consciousness is contagious. Now every inner breakthrough feeds the whole, weaving together a tapestry of awakening that stretches far beyond what the eyes can see. The moon shift of October 25th awakens something ancient yet brand new. A remembrance that light doesn't come from above. It rises from within. People are no longer waiting for signs in the sky. They've become the sign. Their awareness, their presence, their decisions are now the coordinates guiding this next phase of evolution. The revolution is no longer outside. It's interior, cellular, encoded into the very fabric of being. Each moment of truth sends signals through the planetary grid, strengthening the architecture of awakening. Those who once doubted their purpose are realizing that purpose is not something to chase. It's something to remember. The answers have always been inside, waiting for the silence after confusion. And that silence is expanding even in the midst of noise, giving birth to a new kind of clarity. Old paradigms built on separation no longer sustain. You may notice how quickly dishonesty falls apart, how truth seems to reveal itself faster than before. This is consciousness becoming self-correcting, the natural intelligence of awareness, clearing distortion from the shared field. The collective is learning to move with the rhythm of authenticity, not fear. This is not a small step forward. It's a full recalibration of what it means to exist as conscious beings together. Relationships, careers, and communities are being redesigned through resonance. People are finding each other through alignment rather than obligation. Connection is no longer about proximity. It's about purpose. Those drawn together at this time are often linked through shared missions encoded long before this life began. Their meetings are not accidents. They are activations, reminders that the awakening is meant to be lived together. The rise in collective awareness also awakens deep compassion. The pain once used as proof of separation becomes proof of shared humanity. The great healing underway is not about perfection, but participation, showing up honest and open even when the path feels uncertain. Each act of courage becomes a beacon that steadies the rest. The more one awakens, the more everyone benefits. Consciousness is now entering a collaborative phase where intuition guides faster than logic, and synchronicity replaces coincidence. The unseen structure of reality bends toward coherence, and those tuned into their inner guidance will navigate the shifts with remarkable grace. It's not about escaping difficulty, but remembering that every challenge is a messenger calling attention to what's ready to evolve. This planetary awakening isn't waiting for permission. It's unfolding through ordinary days, through moments of decision, through people who decide to live with awareness in a world that forgot how. Every time someone chooses peace over reaction, the frequency of the collective rises. Every act of gratitude strengthens the bridge to higher consciousness. The old way of living, built on constant comparison and fear, is dissolving because the vibration sustaining it has dropped out of resonance. New structures are being imagined in its place, guided by empathy, creativity, and collaboration. The soul of humanity is learning to speak again, and the language is energy, not words, but intention. Even technology begins to mirror consciousness, amplifying what's already within rather than distracting from it. Science, art, and spirituality are starting to converge, revealing that they've always been parts of the same conversation. The awakening doesn't reject modern life, it transforms it. The divine is no longer separate from the digital. It flows through it. As awareness expands into every dimension of expression, as more awaken, a quiet stability begins to form. Despite the outer noise, an inner harmony builds strong enough to anchor millions. This is how ascension happens, not through escape but through embodiment. The light doesn't demand perfection. It asks for participation. Each human heart becomes a transmitter, sending waves of coherence into the shared field. The spiritual revolution ahead will not look mystical. It will look human. It will be seen in kindness, fairness, creativity, and courage. That is the real alchemy, turning awareness into action. People are realizing that prayer isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's lived. Every conscious choice is a message to the universe saying, I remember. The great turning point of this era is realizing that the divine plan was never outside the human experience. It is the human experience awakened. The October 25th moon shift didn't bring magic from beyond. It reminded us that we are the magic. The mind no longer has to understand everything. The heart simply knows. This collective awakening is a rising tide of remembrance, not driven by fear but by love that refuses to forget its source. The days ahead may challenge the old structures of identity, but they will also reveal how limitless awareness can become when freed from illusion. In the silence between thoughts, in the stillness between actions, a new rhythm is forming, one that beats with unity, wisdom, and courage. That is the pulse of ascension, not leaving the human story behind, but rewriting it from the inside with the ink of consciousness itself. Every ending now carries within it the seed of creation. Every breath becomes an offering to the greater whole. The planet is not waiting for change. It carries the lessons of this moon forward as if they were light in your hands. The ancient path of balance teaches that power without humility turns heavy. So stay rooted in simplicity. Eat slowly, walk with awareness, and speak only what strengthens. These small gestures rebuild harmony faster than grand declarations. The universe doesn't ask for perfection, only presence. From the Hermetic stream comes another truth. Rhythm governs all things. Every rise follows a fall and every pause hides a pulse. When the path feels uncertain, do not chase movement. Become the still point. Let clarity find you. Action taken from calm creates outcomes that last. The Vic seers often spoke of tapas, the inner heat of devotion born through discipline. Give your focus to one practice that connects you with Source each day. It could be silence, prayer, or movement. What matters is consistency. That focus turns awareness into strength. Those who walk with the earth know that endings are not losses. They are compost for renewal. Offer what no longer serves into the invisible soil and trust it will return as wisdom. Change is not a threat. It's proof that life listens. The guidance of October 25th continues to unfold wherever courage meets truth, shaping the new world. One steady heart at a time. Today marks a closing and an ignition all at once. The moon shift of October 25th moves like a quiet promise across the unseen field, whispering that those who are awake must now act with purpose. Every choice from here carries weight, not in burden but in power. What once held confusion now opens like new air. What once felt distant begins to return in clarity. The world is asking for those who remember their light to stand taller, speak clearer, and move with heart. Those who share truth become bridges. Those who inspire courage become mirrors for others. Still finding their reflection, spread this message like morning light, not to convince but to remind. Somewhere someone needs the strength you've already discovered. Every share is a spark in the larger story of awakening. Every word spoken from integrity adds rhythm to the collective heartbeat. In these final moments, anchor your spirit through one phrase that declares your readiness for the new phase unfolding. Comment, I rise with purpose to ground your intention into motion. Speak it, type it, breathe Breathe it into existence. The current is strong, but it carries those who move with trust. Share this message with one soul walking through awakening. Your act of courage might become the sign they've been waiting.